Season 8 of NBA 2K23, my team is in the air. Smell it. I'm sure it smells a little bit better than outside of my house currently right now, which is just filled with Canadian forest fire fumes. It's like smoking an entire pack of Marlboro Skylines every time you go outside. Shout out to the OGs that remember those horrific cigarettes. Look, we got Season 8. People are upset, for sure. People are hyped, for sure. I actually don't know. I think it lies somewhere in the middle. If you are expecting like a large scale, kind of exciting dev blog, you're in the wrong place. Like, you should be playing a different game at that point, because you know 2K is not going to give us any information. So this is like Kevin Durant themed for some reason. I'm not really sure what's up with that. New era dawns in Phoenix with the arrival of Kevin Durant. Okay, I mean, he arrived a while ago, but go off. One of the NBA's all-time greatest scorers. It's very interesting that they decided to do like a Kevin Durant themed season after Kevin Durant's, let's just say, adventures over the past week or so on Twitter. Him just joining Twitter spaces with like random NBA YouTubers, which is just always immensely funny to me, because it's just like, okay, look, I'm just going to say it. If you don't play basketball, like if you don't play professional basketball, I just feel like you can't be considered like an expert in the sport of basketball. Okay, that's just how I feel. Okay, if you don't coach or you don't play and you're not involved with the league in any way, shape, or form, maybe you shouldn't consider yourself an expert on the league. That's just how I feel. Though, is Kevin Durant going to be like the greatest coach of all time? Is he going to be fantastic? Like, obviously, look at Michael Jordan running a team. It's not great, but it's just very interesting, the dichotomy of watching someone who just like considers themselves like an NBA, like, I guess, top fan, arguing with Kevin Durant in a Twitter space. It's just weird. It's just very, very weird. Anyways, real interesting stuff, blah, 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 blah. My career, I mean, do you really care at this point? They got mascots back. That's cool. There's a tiger in the mix. Where does it say the tiger? There's a tiger. I mean, you get a tiger at level 40. That's kind of sick. You get a little pet and roll around. I'm sure you can pet it, I would assume. At this point, I'm not really sure. I feel like a lot of the time, I'm just kind of like, what do you guys want for like my career level 40s? But like legitimately, this year I've been looking at their level 40 rewards and I'm just like, what is the point? What is the point? The low rider was kind of cool. Not going to lie. That's kind of tight. But like, for the most part, like, what even are these? It's whatever. That's why we talk my team here. Season 8 of NBA 2K23 will feature even more incredible, invincible, and in-game cards. I added incredible. I thought that said incredible. It says invincible. I can't read. Leave me alone. Than any other season yet, okay? All year you've been collecting and assembling your dream team, debatable. But in Season 8, you can add the most powerful versions of NBA's biggest stars to your lineup to close out the year. On your journey to level 40, you'll have opportunity to earn more Galaxy Opal and Dark Matter players, good, including an invincible and multiple endgame player cards, okay? I like what we're dealing with here. I like this. So right off the bat, you get this Steph Curry, okay? So you get an endgame Steph Curry, which I'm assuming he has. Kevin Porter Jr. release, I have a sneaking suspicion that every single endgame card will have Kevin Porter Jr. release. I feel like that's just going to happen. It's just going to be KPJ for every single card. So by the end of the year, it's likely you're going to be using an entire team with the exact same jump shot, which, I don't know, man. That kind of sucks, in my opinion. I feel like there should be at least like 2 or 3 meta jump shots, right? I feel like they're not going to give like Kuzma or O'Shea or any of the other releases to anyone. It's literally just going to be KPJ from this point forward. But we'll find out on Friday for sure. Stephen Curry is one of the coldest offensive assassins in NBA history. Okay? With a knack for crushing the hopes of opposing teams. I love the wording in these things. Like, bro, okay. You know what? Put that English lit degree to use, brother. All right. Whether it's the regular season or the postseason, Curry can call a game at any moment. Cool. Kick off Season 8 by adding level 1 endgame Steph Curry to your collection. So basically, you just have to log in and press like 4 buttons, and you get an endgame Steph Curry. Now, you would think that this was like universally like hyped because it's like a good thing, right? You would think that, but we are playing 2K here. People are annoyed by this, which is kind of crazy to me, to be honest. Like, we typically get like a free agent Zion who's like a 96 overall and has the badges of like a season 1 pink diamond, right? Like, Are we really going to be mad because there's an end game Curry? Yeah, he's a little bit small, but you literally press 4 buttons. You know how many people that are like casual players are going to get gassed to have a 99 overall end game Curry? So many, all of them. In fact, I'm gassed, and I'm probably not even going to use him that much, right? Kind of wish he had his own jump shot, which he still might, I guess, but I'm guessing it's KPJ. It's fine. I've also seen people throw it out like, oh, well, that just like hurts his value. Like, what are you talking about? Turn your market brain off for a little bit. You don't even want people to get free cards because it's going to hurt the value because you can't make MT off it. What kind of... What does that even mean? All right, I'm just going to ignore that. Truthfully, I don't even know. At a certain point, like, that's crypto brain, and I don't even want to deal with it. Right? So you get this just for starting the season, which is huge, man. You just log in and you already get an endgame card. I didn't expect them to do that. I mean, yeah, is it a small point guard? Sure. Is it literally zero work? Also, yes. So I'm kind of hyped. Now we got level 40, which is Embiid, right? This one's a bit more contentious. I feel like 95% of people, and when I say people, I mean like the Twitter population, are probably pretty hyped on Steph Curry, right? There's like a weirdo 5% that are mad for some reason. Not really sure what that's all about. I'm like a notable 2K hater, and I can't find anything to get mad at in relation to Steph Curry, so that really says something. Embiid's a different story because I feel like people are very split 50-50 on him. Like, is endgame Embiid kind of cool? Sure, yeah. Embiid with like a more meta jump shot should be good. He's got a huge player build for sure. But I mean, at this point, you got people running Manute Bol and Yao Ming, so it's just like it's hard to really get super gassed about Joel Embiid. I haven't even gotten Zion. Like, I didn't even do it. I still am 39, I think. I'm probably going to get him just for the All Pelicans team, but this might be the first level 40 I don't get since they introduced level 40. I don't know, man. As you complete agendas, blah, 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 forced to reckon with. Bullying centers? Yeah, probably not. Like, you're not going to be bullying any centers with Joel Embiid at this point. Like, Mark Eaton is locking him up, I'm sorry to say. Now, that being said, they did give him an endgame in his MVP season. Granted, did he deserve the MVP? That's a different debate, which I'm sure people are raging in the comments right now. That's cool. I wish they would have done more stuff like this, I don't know, throughout the year. I just feel like they kind of, like, overloaded season 7 and 8 when they could have been doing this the entire time, but instead we had basically a dead game for like 4 months when they had the capability to do all this stuff all along. Like, they're able to do this stuff while they're currently working on 2K24, right? So what exactly were they doing for 4 months, 4 seasons even? So like, what were they doing? What were they doing during that whole time? Just like sitting there like twiddling their thumbs? Like, what exactly were they doing? I don't know, man. It's a bit contentious, and then we'll get to the most contentious. Bill Russell. Bill Russell has been very contentious. See, he is the reward for the all-time spotlight grinds. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, okay, that's a really long time for a 6'9" power forward. And you know what? I'm going to say you are correct. Right? That is a really long time for a 6'9" power forward. Now, hopefully they come and change him into a small forward power forward, but realistically, once you complete the all-time spotlight grinds, which take, like, I think 21 hours is the rough estimation for these, like, I believe, you do get to choose between Bill Russell, Kevin Durant, or Paolo. So, although I wish it was 3 original cards that you get to choose from, my thoughts on this event as a whole is this event is already so much better than I expected it to be when they first announced it, that it's really, really difficult to complain, even though that the end reward card isn't really the greatest, because I'm sure Paolo's not going to be the greatest for long. Durant's probably going to be a top tier shooting guard for the rest of the year, though, for sure. And Bill Russell is probably who I'm going to go with, just because, like, you know, Bill Russell. But just kind of looking at it, like, guys like Rudy Tomjanovich, James Worthy, even, like, Kevin Willis, like, Brad Doherty, who I forgot existed again, even though he's my starting power forward. Like, these guys, Cummings, Steven Jackson, these are all cards that are so much better than the cards that I expected to get during this event, so it's, like, hard for me to get mad about Bill Russell. You know, does that make sense? Like, how am I supposed to get mad about Bill Russell when, like, the cards are already better than I expected them to be? Like, yeah, we got a bunch of small point guards, a bunch of, like, Paul Westphal, JoJo Whites, and stuff like that, but... And the grind is a little bit long, but realistically, anybody with the time could do it. So I don't have a whole lot of negative things to say. Like, yeah, I wish the grind would have been for, I don't know, someone overpowered, obviously. Like, I don't know, like an endgame Ralph Sampson or like George Mirasan or like Dino or something. But it actually makes total sense that it's Bill Russell. I actually kind of expected that pretty much the whole time because, he just passed away. It would make the most sense. So, plus they love giving us Bill Russells and rewards. So, kind of wish they would change it to small forward, power forward. I still kind of think that they might do that. But I think people are being a little too harsh on the Twitter sphere. I think this is like a totally acceptable reward, either him or two of the other available end games that are in the game currently. Now, like I said, do I wish it was 3 original players? Yes. Do I wish it was more of a meta player? Sure, of course. But I don't think it's really that bad of a reward compared to what I expected it to be. Think about last year. The end of the year grind, we had to do a ridiculously time consuming and difficult grind for an invincible Joel Embiid that 11 people had. Yeah, a bunch of people ran that Manu Bull, but realistically, nobody had Joel Embiid, right? No one. Did you? I didn't. I definitely didn't. I took one look at that grind and said, I'm not doing this. I'm not going to do it. And just kind of gave up on it. This is a very manageable grind that's just a bit time consuming, and you get Bill Russell. I think it's fine. I think people are a little bit meta brained, and just thinking solely about the meta, which I understand because the game is very meta driven this year, but come on, man. It's whatever. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Most of the people that are upset have invested a lot of time into this, but I'm all about card collecting anyway, so it doesn't really matter to me, honestly. I'll get it done at my own pace. If I get it done at all, it's cool. Since June 1st, you and fellow My Team players have been able to earn all new Dark Matter cards by completing all-time Spotlight challenges, from Drew Holiday to Fred VanVleet and more. There are a bevy of talented players you can obtain by defeating each. Blah, 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 yeah. I don't know. It's if you don't want Bill Russell, just take Paolo or take Durant. It doesn't really matter. I don't know. Right off the bat, you have 2 endgames available to you for basically doing nothing. 3 if you're going to grind like Joel Embiid. I shouldn't say doing nothing. I should say not the most difficult means. Whereas last year, imagine if they would have put an endgame reward like this behind a grind last year. Oh my God, it would have been ridiculous. Invincible Taco levels of difficult, right? Season 8 lineups are going to bring the heat, so make sure you've got a squad that can contend. Be on the lookout for exciting events and new cards. So, no one's really focused on the exciting events thing. From what I can gather, I believe Season 8 is going to be the last season, obviously. Season 9 is just going to be recycled cards from Season 8. So it's all the cards from packs that you weren't able to get, you're going to be able to get during Season 9. Some capacity, guys like the inevitable endgame T-Mac, Yao, etc. Taco probably. So I think they're actually going to do a decent amount of events this season. They actually obviously did a very good job this season. Everybody's pretty happy with what's going on. So I would expect them to continue to kind of go forward with that. At least that's the impression that I've been given. I don't know. Maybe I'm just giving them a little bit too much goodwill from season 7, but it is what it is. But anyways, I'm cautiously optimistic for Friday, but we'll know all Friday. I wish they would tell us what the reward cards are. I know there's 2 different camps there. It's they want to know the information now and people want to be excited on Friday, but it's if you work, it's you're not going to experience first loading up at 10 a.m. anyway, so it's it doesn't really matter. Just tell me now. If you're going to be ready to play the minute the season drops, yeah, you probably have that kind of mentality where you'd rather just see what's going to drop. It's all about time zones and what you're doing, I guess, but I kind of want to know what the clutch time reward is and what the, I don't really care what the triple threat reward is. I'm not going to do it anyway, so it doesn't matter. I'm not going to get any of the RG cards, so it doesn't matter. I played 7 games total of Unlimited this year, or this season, I should say. But I would still like to know. I would like to know where the Invincibles are there going to be end games in the vault? All this stuff would be really nice to know. But anyways, it's been your friend Cheap Loots, and I will see you guys later.